Coach, you guys get the 2 wins on this last road trip. Thoughts on what you saw from the team out there?
Yeah, two hard-fought wins, two really good teams, very, very talented and well-coached teams out there in New Orleans and Nichols. And with the travel to Louisiana being what it is, I was just really proud of our guys for remaining connected and remaining disciplined and focused, and then executing and performing. So I thought they played very hard and did what it took to pull those things out. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. There was some dips towards the end of both those games that was a little bit disappointing and some things that we have to clean up. But by and large, I thought the guys performed and executed the way they've been training to.
Coach, now it's an 8-game win streak. What's clicked so far? What have you seen from the team that you're liking so far that made it possible this 8-game win streak?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the controllable things. I think our effort has really reflected a team that truly wants to win, not just says it. We're playing. I know it's simple and it's kind of basic old school coach speak, but we're playing a lot harder and we're playing a little bit more physicality, and we're sustaining that over the course of not only possessions but for 40 minutes over a game, and that goes a long, long way, as you know. And then I think we're playing a little bit greater focus and discipline, and we're carrying that over the course of the entirety of a game, by and large, minus the dips I just mentioned at the end of both those games. And I think that's lending itself to execution. That's lending itself to shot selection. That's lending itself to communication when you can have that kind of intensity of focus. And I think our guys are doing a much better job of that.
And now you're in the third place of the Southland Conference, going to the back end of the schedule of the season. What do you think has to change, or what do you think you got to get better at, or be more consistent of to finish out strong going to the Southland tournament?
I think remaining focused and worrying less about positioning or seeding and rankings and things like that, that's not going to make us try to win the game more, right? I've never really saw that. It's like, if I'm so, immersed in what the seed and the bracket looks like and all that kind of stuff, I'm losing focus on the preparation for the next thing. And it's got to be the same thing for our team and our players. And we just have to be focused on the day by day, winning each step of the process, winning each step of the preparation, and being fantastic at those little things, those little tasks. And when we can stack those kind of tasks, we could put together really good days and we could put together great weeks. And when the ball goes up on Saturday, we'll be a prepared team. So all the other stuff as far as the conference tournament is really irrelevant to us right now. And we just have to focus on preparation for Thursday.
And a quick weekend where you got 2 games, one on Saturday, one on Monday. What are the mindset going into these 2 games?
Yeah, it's really, truly one game at a time, and even before that, it's one practice at a time, one film session at a time. So, we just got off the practice floor, and I thought we had a good, productive day today with our film and our recap from Nichols, and trying to learn from that and get better from that, and then also, installing a little bit from a preparation standpoint for Stephen F. Austin so we can turn the page to that challenge. So tomorrow's practice is a critical one. We'll compete a little bit and get up and down a little bit, and remain fresh and start to get a little bit focused and with a little bit more intensity is how we're going to get into a fight. So all that stuff kind of ramps up through the course of the week. So when Saturday does come around, hopefully we're the best version of ourselves.
Coach, over the last 8 games, you guys have averaged 8.8 points a game, which is first in the conference. On the other side, I think you're allowing opponents the second least points in this stretch. Do you feel like you guys are becoming a more complete, all-around team at this point?
We're fighting to. That's a small sample size over the course of the entirety of a conference play, as you know. So, we're certainly, that's the goal. We want to do both. We want to be a do-both program. We don't want to just be score a bunch of points, and we certainly just don't want to be a 3-point shooting team or a play fast team on offense. We want to guard. We want to rebound. We want to do the tough, hard, physical things. We want to make games really challenging for our opponents on both ends of the floor. So we truly fight to be a do-both program, and I'm glad that's starting to be reflected in the numbers. But more than anything, we just got to do that over the course of every single possession and do our jobs to accomplish that end goal, and then the results will take care of itself. So like I said, that's a small sample size, and we got to continue to get better with both those things.
10 conference wins now, ties the program record for you guys. At the beginning of the year, it was just 2 conference wins. All of a sudden, it's 10. How quick a season can change. Thoughts on just the overall mindset of this 8-game stretch?
Yeah, I'm really proud of the guys, and they should feel fantastic about that. That's no small thing to match the program record. Is it match or exceed? Match the program record all time of conference wins, and our guys should feel great about that, playing in a high level conference like the Southland and where it stands currently. But beyond that, man, when you really think about it, not to be Debbie Downer, but it's we've won 8 games in a row. We're playing well and all these kinds of things, and we're still only 10-6. You know what I'm saying? And we're still only 14-11. So we're so far from the finished article. We're so far away from accomplishing anything of note. So there's just a lot to get done. There's a lot to improve upon. There's a lot to develop. And our guys need to see that, and our staff needs to see and feel that as well. And we just need to continue to fight for the right things.
Jaden had himself a quad ball game on Monday, 26 points, a career high for him. He feels like he was doing a little bit of everything for you guys. Thoughts on his performance here Monday night?
Yeah, I thought he was great. I thought he was really, really good. He's really forceful getting into the painted area and landing and playing off the 2 feet. He's finishing it at the rim at a really, really high level, especially for somebody at his size. I think his quickness keeps people off balance a little bit, and he's shifty and can kind of keep people on their toes put people on their heels a little bit and make people uncomfortable defending them, whether that's his primary on-ball defender, whether that's the recovering 5 in a ball screen. He really pushes the pace in transition, and he's really given us a tremendous pop on the offensive side of the floor. The challenge for him is continuing to challenge him in a way of being a do-both guy, right? You mentioned, offense and defense, things like that. He really needs to spearhead that project for us, right? He needs to be a leader in that sense, where he's the tip of the spear, and he needs to be the focal point of what we're trying to do on both offense and defense. So he certainly has the ability to do that, and that's the challenge for him.
Stephen F. Austin on Saturday, you guys dropped one on the road to them. What's going to be key to getting this victory here on Saturday?
Yeah, it's a really good team, very, very talented, very well coached. Obviously playing at an exceptionally high level. They have one of the highest win streaks in the country, I believe. So they're playing exceptionally well, and they're beating people pretty comfortably recently in conference. And you look at what they're capable of doing on both sides of the floor as far as doing both. It's a real challenge for us, right? And we know what that looks like the first time we played them. Fortunately for us, I think we're a different article from the first time that we played. Not just them, but anybody at that time of the year. I think we've really kind of grown as a group, and our guys have grown as individuals. But regardless of that, it's really just preparing to play and fight with a really good program and a really good team. They're obviously, their guards are terrific in the backcourt with Latif Patrick and Keon Thompson. They do a terrific job getting on the offensive glass with Gerald Colonel and Creason Christmas, and they guard you, and they got shooters off the bench in Nara, and they got shooters on the floor on the starting 5 in Burton. They've had fantastic continuity with being able to start the same 5, I believe, for the duration of the season. So they've done a really nice job of just being very, very steady and steadily growing and being steadily effective. So we have our hands full.